All right, and welcome back for the episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Thursday, December 28th, 2023. If you're not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Also, we'll be running a promotion again, same kind of promotion that we did in November, so for active trader. So starting January 1st, through the 31st, we'll be doing basically first month is $39.99, so a promotional rate for active traders. So if you want to come check it out, it's only $40 for your first month. We're getting through the slow period right now. We've only got 2 days left. January should be a lot more fun here. We're still going very well. We're taking what we can get, but mostly kind of in scalp mode here. And as you guys can see, obviously the markets here are very quiet as per usual, but take advantage of that promotion starting on January 1st. Anyways, markets here today, fractionally higher, not without a little bit of volatility, but mostly just contained volatility. Right? We did have a little bit of an outside candle around 1 o'clock with the little bit of algo freak out on the bond auction, and we ended up rallying up, kissing the highs. Then we had a little bit of a dip here, and now we're just pumping right back up into the means here, and we could be basing for another pop. Do they want to get us to 4,800 tomorrow for the end of the year? I don't know. They've been targeting it all day. They've been targeting it all day yesterday as well. Maybe they even squeezes up here in the last 40 minutes. It's certainly a possibility. Markets have been very quiet. The volume is very light, and unless we get some type of geopolitical event, I don't really see anything too major happening. We did have a little bit of volatility though in Tesla. Take a look at that, down 3% on the day. That one just continued. It has this nice base here and has continued to be unable to push through that that mid 260 area. I said give it the upside to 267, 268. It couldn't really get there. A little engulfing reversal. So some things bouncing around here. Apple did get a nice follow through. We talked about that one yesterday, but again, mostly market's quiet. Take a look at the spiders here. It's 3:20 p.m. It's 41 million shares, right? So very, very light, very, very quiet. And again, we're only 10 points away from that 4,800 whole round number, and about 28 points away from 48.18. Do they get us a squeeze tomorrow just to touch that all-time high, to make a new all-time high by the end of the year? I mean, it's certainly possible. I don't think we really have much in the way of economic data tomorrow. And we had jobless claims this morning. It was complete nothing burger as far as the market's reaction. Same thing with retail inventories, wholesale inventories. Nothing really doing there. So again, if they want it, it's certainly there. They could get that final Santa Claus rally. Either way, I do think we get there at least at some point in Jan, maybe early Jan, Jan 2nd. That's going to be obviously the day we come back. We have another 3-day weekend. You're going to have pension funds coming in, 401ks. They're going to be forced to buy. You're going to have new money going to work, stuff like that. So it's certainly possible we get up there. I mean, we're so close at this point. It's a stone's throw away. It's basically a formality at this point here. But the question is, do they pull this back a little bit first before we get there, or do we just melt straight up? Do they try to gamma us up there tomorrow? It'll be interesting to see if they do that. I don't think we've ever, that I can think of, been in a situation where the last day of the year we were able to make a new all-time high, one that was going back a year or more. I'm not like not like a week or so we made an all-time high and then pulled back. I mean, like last day of the year we have a chance to make a new all-time high going back 2 years. So we'll see if they try to jam it in there, but again, we'll give the market the benefit of the doubt as long as there is light volume out there. And I think again, January, we probably will see some more backing and filling, but right now we'll give the market the benefit of the doubt. So it's just that simple. Triple Qs here up 1 penny. So they did fade off the highs again. Tesla kind of pulling the Qs down a little bit. I know big tech was a little bit of a mixed bag. The semiconductors were strong earlier on, and then have kind of faded down to the flat line for the most part. But again, tech still hanging in there okay. And again, we're not going to make too much out of this price action right now. Russell 2000, so that 205 area held nicely. So we talked about that yesterday and the day before. Now down 0.5%. Again, if this consolidates, so it can have one more push up, and that's kind of my guess. I think we do have a little bit of a January effect at some point. And I still think that there's some value in some of these smaller caps, some of these heavily shorted stocks. A lot of things that are beaten down into the end of the year, we'll also have a January effect, meaning, after that tax loss selling abates, they can get a rally. And again, I think some of these heavily shorted stocks like the small caps still have some upside. Again, we've talked about IWM going to 210. I think that's a logical area, assuming we can get through 205. But right now, it's just basing there. And again, we'll leave it at that. We don't want to make too much out of this price action. Dow continuing to surge higher. So that's up 0.25% on the day. And again, we closed above that red yesterday. Actually, so did the spiders, obviously. And we're just kind of pushing higher. Dow just chugging basically into the end of the year here. And we'll see if, that ends up dragging up the spiders tomorrow into that 480 area. Semis up 15 cents. Again, we don't want to make too much out of that. The one thing we can say here is we can watch here 175.86. That was that tail candle high. We closed to the penny on it yesterday. So we'll see today. Do they close it above? We're above by about 15, 20 cents right now. So again, it's a formality, right? It's not, this doesn't tell us any sort of major signal, but, it's obviously a point for the bulls here in the short term. The stocks, again, I'm still looking for about 4,300 on that. That would complete a little bit of a measured move there. Again, not a sell, not a short area, but just a upside objective. IGV continues to hold up. This could be basing here. So a little bit of look at this. Look how tight this range is. So this is really tight here for cloud, but look at this, look at those tiny candles. Could be putting in a little bit of a base there for a potential move higher. Either way, 400 will be short-term support if it does pull back. But again, cloud is still holding up, and we'll leave it at that. Again, we don't want to make too much out of the price action in the last couple of days here. Transports down 11 basis points. Again, nothing wrong here. If this consolidates, it can go higher. And the 20 moving average is starting to catch up to price. So I think that certainly could be a thing, could be a January effect play as well. Interest rates here. So interest rates actually got a bit of a bounce today. 2-year bouncing off the 4.25 area and about to finish at 4.28. I still think there's room for one more little decline, not much, into the 4.15, maybe 4.10 area on the 2-year. Fives, 3.70. Right in that range, maybe 365. The 10s, these are all a stone's throw away here, and I think we will get there. But again, I know a lot of people are talking about, we had a record, I think the best 2-month period for TLT on record ever. So everybody's all gung-ho about bonds right now. I'm not really in that camp. I just think this is no different than the pullback we had here late last year and earlier this year. But that remains to be seen here, so we'll see how that shakes out. But the interest rates rising today did not seem to really bother the market too much. Again, with the light volume, you're not going to see the market do a ton unless we get geopolitical news, really. XHB here down 28 cents, so that did not make a new all-time high today, which, again, I'm going to call the chart police about that. I'll let you know what they say. But, down 28 cents, and again, there's nothing to say this can't go higher here as long as rates are falling. VNQ, a little bit of a break of this little channel, up 25 cents. And again, still into that weekly level. Oops. There we go, the weekly level. And we'll see if this can consolidate. If it can, we'll look at 95. Again, could be more of a January effect play into next year. XLF was really strong today, up 42 basis points, new 52-week high. That really carried the spiders. As you saw tech kind of come in, Apple, Tesla, Google were a little bit on the softer side here, but XLF really got a bid here. Also, I don't talk about healthcare a lot, but healthcare had a nice day as well. So XLV very close to new 52-week highs as well. But, financials having a good day here. Again, 38.25 is what I'm looking for there. KRE flat to lower, but nothing terrible there. That can still get to 56. KBE can still get to 48.25. No problems there. Broker dealers fractionally higher here today. They are very overbought and extended, though. All right, crude's a little bit interesting here. So this is actually starting to reverse lower. So this bull pattern here is now kind of negated to an extent. Doesn't mean there's plenty of room for a daily high or low. So there is, and weekly for that matter. So there is room for that, but we'll be watching this. I'm going to be watching very closely because I think crude is trying to carve out a bottom. It's just a matter of, do we put in a high or low, or do we spike that low at some point here? And if we do, I don't think there's that much more downside. But crude's getting interesting. I have left it alone. The pattern has been okay, and then today we started to break down. We had an inventory number today. I think the inventory was bullish, and guess what? Couldn't hold the gains off of that reaction, and it came back down. So that's never a good sign when you have a bullish reaction and then basically getting faded off of that. So again, leave crude alone right now, and we'll look for signs of a bottom. But right now, it might need to shake itself out a little bit more. Anyways, XLE, that took a hit with crude coming down, so down 1.2. I've left these alone, and for good reason. They have not done anything for a couple months now. Same thing with XOP. On the weaker side, down 1.5. OIH, which I like the best, also down 1.25. Still nothing to do with these names. CCJ, okay, you could make a case now. The trend is up here. We could make a case you have daily chart bear consolidation. Outside move down, wiped out 4 weeks worth of trading in one day. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles inside. We'll see. If this base is here, it could set up a zigzag down. The thing is, though, the trend is still very well up on the weekly, and there's no real problems here. So this would just be short-term backing and filling right now until proven otherwise. But CCJ, it is vulnerable. There's a chance for bears to do something right now, and that doesn't mean they have to or will. But, that's just the setup right now. And, again, we'll leave it at that there. URNM, I still like a lot better. I really like this weekly chart here. That looks very strong. Nat gas here had a good day. So again, talked about this yesterday. Said it's just fine that it pulled back off the highs as long as you maintain this bullish structure, and it's done that so far. I think this is setting up for a zigzag to 280, maybe 285, and then ultimately into the low threes there on nat gas futures. So that did buck the trend of energy selling off today. Dollar index here actually, so interesting. So the dollar was up very nicely today as well, and you can just see here we put in the low. We put in the low in the pre-market, we rallied up, and then we put in a higher low. We can get rid of this trend line now. We put in a higher low here and right around 10, almost 11 o'clock. And, just like right on time, that was the high in the market. Right in front of 11 o'clock, we came in, and then we had to do backing and filling. But even with the dollar, which has continued to rally off the lows, the market hasn't really been too bothered. Again, volume light. Don't expect too much, realized volatility to the downside. But you did get a little bit of a tail here. So that is not insignificant. It didn't quite get to my 100 spot 50 area, but it got close and you got a tail. So we'll leave it at that for now. I still think there's a chance it could go to double bottom. I'm kind of just going more so off the yield chart. I think the levels for yields are just clearer. And when they bottom, I think the dollar will bottom and it'll be a tradable low. I'm not sure if that's it yet. But it is getting oversold, so you are going to get some backing and filling regardless there on the DXY. Anyways, gold here. So gold backed off a little bit today, down 70 basis points. Again, we talked about 2100. It's pulling back. We'll leave it at that for now. Could it go a little bit higher? It certainly could, but I think the dollar is, like I've been saying, kind of due for some type of a tradable low, and I think that that'll pull gold back in a little bit here, but right now it's holding up just fine. Silver backing off as well, down 1.5. That looks like it may want to come down and test this trend line again. So we'll watch for that there. But overall, no real problems here in the metal space. Platinum just continues to power up. It is coming off the highs, and be aware, there is a gap fill right here. So that may need to come down and test that. Remember, I talked about this with gold. I said, everybody was, oh, that's it, it's breaking out. You gotta jump on. I said, there's a gap. And these contract gaps like to fill a lot, and it did. So just be aware of that. I don't like it when you leave those contract gaps sitting on there. Even with the ES, like a few months ago, we left that gap in there for a while, and eventually it came in and filled. We have one here. Guess what? This will fill eventually. That doesn't mean it's going to happen right now, but just be advised of that. But platinum acting well. I could even see 1040 in the short term before doing some backing and filling, but we'll see what that does there. Palladium did pull back as well, hit that blue trend line. Remember, that was the previous weekly red bar high. So we'll see if that acts as support. If not, there's still a lot of support down here around 1080, somewhere in that area. But I think the lows are in for palladium, so I think dips can be bought. Copper pulling right back in. This is kind of just chugging higher here. Again, we'll give it the upside to 4 and a pierce of that as well. Bitcoin just backing off the highs here. No real problems though. Pretty much all crypto is red today, or at least most of the big ones here. ETH trying to break out a little bit, but then came back in. Doge, Polkadot, Litecoin, XRP, all red. Solana. This one continues to come in. Watch for that to retest 90, that 20 moving average. If you're super aggressive, that could be a play for a quick bounce, but we'll have to see how that gets in there. Cardano coming in. I do like this pattern though. I think this could be a laggard, possibly up to 80. Matic pulling in as well. So again, just a little bit of pullback here in the crypto space, but nothing terrible there. Again, we'll start giving that the upside bias for now. Again, so lastly, we'll see what we get tomorrow. They're probably going to be targeting 4,800 again. We'll see if they finally get satisfied there. Right now, until the end of the day, they might just pin it to 47.85. But again, we're not going to make too much out of this price action, and we'll give the market the upside bias. Definitely until volume comes back in, and the market gives us a reason to do really anything otherwise. So, anyways, guys, gonna wrap it up here. You guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I will talk to you guys all tomorrow.